Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a little while since I posted. Figured I'd update you guys and make a new video for you because I haven't seen you in a while. This is my office, and this is the first video I've ever done in here. So I kind of want to tell you a little bit about it because I think when people are first starting their company, they immediately start to think about, well, where am I going to run the company from? And they think that they should go out and buy an office. So I just kind of want to talk about my experience getting this office, and maybe that could help you out if that's something that you're considering, right now or in the future. So I've always wanted to have an office because I wanted to have a professional environment where I could come and just focus solely on my business. Somewhere where I could just come in, shut the door, and put my nose to the grindstone and get things done. And I felt like if I had my business at home, I'd be distracted by the dogs, my wife needing things, and people knocking on the door. And I just didn't really feel like it would be that professional. And I worried that I wouldn't get enough done every day. And another thing is I felt like I would always take my work home with me, because if I have my office right in my house, it's just like, it's always there. It's always on my mind. Whereas if I have a remote location where I come to, I can kind of leave work at work and not really think about it. And there's a couple other little reasons too. Like I wanted to have a professional environment where I could interview employees. And that way, they're not just showing up at my house and being for the interview and being like, what the hell, why are we interviewing at some dude's house? I don't want to work here. Because another thing is, I haven't really talked about this a lot, but you have to create an environment where people want to work for you. And if they're just showing up to your house, they're just going to think that you're some random person, not an actual business. And you're going to have a harder time finding quality people to work for you. At least that's what I've found out. So anyway, for all these reasons, I wanted to have an office. It took me a long time to get an office, and I have a bunch of reasons for that as well. So the first thing is, I needed to spend my money on tools and assets that are going to start generating an income. If I just went out and I spent $1,000 a month on an office or something, that's money that I couldn't put into building out my van. I couldn't be buying new tools and equipment for my floor care and carpet cleaning and things like that. I couldn't spend money on marketing. I couldn't take risks because I would have this big, huge bill looming over my shoulders and like just looming over my head all the time. And so, I mean, once you have an office, then you have to pay for your copy machine, you have to pay for your internet, you have to pay your phone bill. There's all these expenses that you have when it comes to having an office, and that's just more responsibility than I wanted when I was first starting out. I wanted my main priority to be just getting customers and doing a good job for those customers and generating an income. And then since I had a day job that I was kind of like replacing with my business, I needed to make enough money so that I could live off of, so I could make my rent payments and my car payments and, buy groceries and all that stuff. And so when I first started out, I didn't want to have, $1,000 or $2,000 a month going right out the door just for an office space. It just didn't make sense for me. So the way I got the office is I was cold calling a lot since I started my business, and I would ask people, hey, do you have an extra office available? I'll clean your office space if you let me have an office. And I didn't really get much luck doing that, but that idea always kept in my mind, and I never forgot about it, and I'd always kind of been looking out for a deal like that. Well, one day my friend Mike had me come out and do a bid on carpet cleaning his office, and he has a call center. And so I came out and I cleaned the carpets. I did a really good job. And at the end of the day, and then he told me at the end of that project, hey, what would you charge for monthly cleaning? And I looked around and I came up with an idea. I came up with like a ballpark figure of what I would charge him. And I said, or, I noticed you have an empty office in the back. If you just let me have that office, I'll do your monthly cleaning for you, no problem. And so that's what happened. He said, at first he said no. And then he talked to his business partners, and they said, well, we got to pay for cleaning anyway. We might as well have Joe use this office back here. And so he called me up and told me that that would be doable. So basically all I have to do is come in here once a week. I vacuum, empty the garbages, do a little bit of dusting, and some things like that, and I get a free office space. And this saves me a lot of money. And I wouldn't have an office if I didn't work out this deal, because I'm not gonna pay a bunch of money to just have an office space when I could have one in my house for free. So one thing that I want to do in this office, you know, when I come in here, I'm here to work, because I'd rather just be at home goofing around. I don't want to be outside of my house just goofing around on the internet and stuff. So when I come here, it's all business. And I have this space now where I can come here and just work on my goals. I have like a big whiteboard of all the deals that I'm working on. I've got calendars back there that show my work schedule. And I also have a bunch of binders here that are set up for all of my goals. So I have like my fitness goals, my YouTube goals, just everything. So when I'm coming here, I'm focused on moving my life forward in every area that's important to me. And this is really important, because when you work for yourself, you don't have a boss pushing you in any certain direction. Like when you have a day job, you could show up and you got people above you that are doing the thinking. They're like, hey, you get here Monday and this is what we expect you to do all the way till Friday. This is the time limits that you have to get it all done. Here's when we expect you to finish this stuff. But when you own your own business, you don't have any of that. It's a total blank slate. Like I could just come in here and sit down at my desk and just stare at a screen and be like, well, what am I gonna do today? And the way I stay focused is by having a whole bunch of goals. So I'll talk about that in another video, but basically this is kind of like a hub for getting all of those goals accomplished. This is where I can come here and I can put things down on my calendar. I can come up with lists of things I need to check off for each one of those goals. And that's what I'm doing when I show up at this place. So anyway, I don't know if you find that interesting or not. And I don't know if you've been considering getting a business or not, but if you're just starting out, I would recommend probably not getting an office right away unless you absolutely need one. Like if you just have a small business like I do and you can get away with doing it at your house and in your garage, I would go that route. You know, if you don't have employees and you don't need like a boardroom and to have meetings and you don't have to have clients come into your office, if you can get away with doing it at home, that's the way I would do it. And a lot of people do that and they do just fine. Even people that have clients come over, like my bookkeeper, he just meets with me at his house. And he's like a professional bookkeeper. Him and his wife run a bookkeeping and accounting business. And when I come over, he just has his laptop set up on like a little table in the dining room. And it's fine. You know, the house is like really clean. It's quiet. They're older. This is like a business that they've started in their retirement. So they don't have like kids coming in and out of the house or anything. But basically, we just set up on his dining room table and he can log into my QuickBooks and we just go through all of our transactions and stuff, and that's totally fine. So every business is different, but I've really enjoyed having the office at my house and it met all of my needs. But it's nice to have like your own space to come and work and get out of the house and not have any distractions. And then you could set up business hours for yourself also. You could put that on your calendar and be like, okay, from this time to this time, I'm at the office, I'm gonna get this done. That way you have a purpose for when you show up every day. When it's just at your home, I mean, you could still have that calendar, but it's so easy just to be like, oh, you know, the lawn needs to be mowed. I should go out there and take care of that. Or, oh, I need to run to the store and buy some groceries or something. So it is nice to have a designated place to do work. So I don't know if you guys find that interesting or not, but if you want to do what you want, when you want, how you want, for who you want, and how much you want, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys next time.